All right, so I want to talk a little bit about fascia. It's that connective tissue that connects your skin to your muscles, your bones, your tendons, your ligaments, and all of your organs. So I'd like to think about it if you go and buy, you can buy a chicken, and in between that skin and the flesh, the meat, you're going to find that thin layer of fascia. You could also think about it when it comes to your muscles. I'm getting a piece of sausage that has a casing around it, and that casing being sort of acting like the fascia. And so, right, as you see the casing, as you cook that sausage, oftentimes the casing starts to expand, and the flesh will start to come out. It gives it more room to grow. So when we create space in the fascia, we give our muscles actually opportunity to relax and release, also to grow and build them, make them stronger, and then we also release stuck energy. So that can come from a variety of things. It can happen because of a repetitive movement you do. If you are sitting at a desk, right? You are hinged at the hips, usually 45 degrees, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less for long periods of time. The knees are also around the same angle. It could come from shooting a basketball over and over and over again, right? Typing on the computer, things with your hands. Anything that you do on a regular basis can create adhesion, stuckness, and energy disruption in this connective tissue. So, and it's like these little tubules. So think all these tiny little tubules of connective tissue connecting around. So what happens is the fluid that's running and pulsing through the fascia, this connective tissue, becomes stagnant and does not flow as well. So as we open up the fascia, we increase the flow literally within the body, within the way we move throughout our lives. Fascia can also get stuck because of trauma, micro traumas and macro traumas. Think about being tense, right? Everything's going to tighten up. That fascia is going to do the same. It's going to become dehydrated and stressed. So it's really important to nourish the fascia with movement, water. That could be water that you actually drink. Ideally, it's going to be structured water. That's a whole nother topic. Or definitely filtered water. And then it could also be water that you get from the fruits and vegetables and the foods that you are already eating, right? That is another way to hydrate. So I just want to give you a short demonstration of how and why dysfunction in the fascia could create discomfort. So I have on a dress. I want you to imagine, and I'm going to just use the dress, but let's say the dress goes all the way down to my feet. This one doesn't. But let's say I have a kink in my hip for whatever reason, and all this fascia is pulling tight around this area because it's clumped and nothing's moving. And so what happens is, right, you can see that now this pulls down. Now this is pulling on this whole neck and shoulder range. It's pulling all of this down, and then you see this tighten up, and as that tightens up, right, the back is also tightening up, and then the skirt no longer wears right because it is higher up than the left side. Now let's say that was all the way down to our feet, which it is, right? Remember the plantar fascia, it's the fascia along that connective tissue along the bottom of the feet. If it goes all the way down to your feet, right? Imagine it is creating a hitch in your giddy up. It might start in the feet, but the hip, but it actually might start in the feet. But if there's a hitch in your giddy up here, right, this whole side could be potentially tight. It's pulling across here, maybe the rib cage, maybe you have pain here, maybe it's across the low back, maybe it's in the right foot. But because the fascia is one connected piece of tissue, when you come in or you have any sort of fascial release, or you're working on your own fascia, which is something that you can do every single day, it all starts to release, and then you can move more freely. Now, this is not going to happen overnight, right? It's taken years of repetitive movements of this, that, and the other, being in fight or flight, macro again, or micro trauma, tension in the body, holding stress. All of this repetitive movements is going to create some of this discomfort and lack of movement or dis-ease in the overall body, keeping that fluid from moving through the connective tissue. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of what fascia is and how it can impact your body. So it is going to take more than one session. It is going to take daily practice, no different than brushing your teeth. A great way to nourish your fascia every day is to move. It requires movement. And personally, one of my favorite ways to move is to take a walk outside every day in the sun, in the light, getting all of that vitamin D, nourishing and recharging my battery. And you gotta see it that way, without sunscreen, and on a good day with as few clothes as possible. And so I try to wear, shorts, athletic shorts, and maybe a bathing suit top or just a sports bra. And that's because I want to drink in every bit of sun ray that I can so that I can nourish and re-energize my connective tissue, my body, my mitochondria, my overall mental health and emotional health, anything else, right? It's a mind, body, spirit thing. There's five, to me, when I've coined the Fusion five pillars of health. You got physical, nutritional, emotional, environmental, and spiritual. We can talk about all those, but today I just want to talk a little bit, give you that overview of the fascia. So if you are ready to take your life to the next level, you can message me, email me, and I can help you get started.